Hey everybody, movie review next door here, and I'm back with another review. And this time I saw The Babysitter Killer Queen. This is a horror comedy film directed by from 2020, and it stars Judah Lewis, Jenna Ortega, Emily Allen, Andrew Batchelor, Robbie Amell, Bella Thorne, Hannah Mae Lee, Ken Marino, Leslie Bibb, and Samara Weaving. In this film, 2 years after defeating a satanic cult led by his babysitter B, Cole's trying to forget his past and focuses on surviving high school. When his old enemies unexpectedly return, Cole will once again have to outsmart the forces of evil. So, what did I think of The Babysitter Killer Queen? Uh, I'd say it's a step down from the first. And that most of this film feels like an excuse to go on a vacation. And yeah, I just ugh. The things that could have made the first one work, I just don't think are here as much. But let me get to the cast. Judah Lewis plays Cole Johnson. Judah Lewis, I still think does a good job in this as he did in the first film. Uh, Jenna Ortega plays Phoebe Atwell. She's a new girl at the school. Jenna Ortega is an actress I usually give a lot of shit because I don't think she's as good as people claim she is. Um, I've never found her to be a great actress. But at least here, I think she is trying, and I think she has a couple moments where she's funny. There's a bit where he's like the main character thinks she's actually pregnant because she said that in school. She said that her period was late, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I made that shit up just so people wouldn't fuck with me." And I'm like, "Okay, decent. That was funny. The way she delivers it is great." But yeah, Emily Allen Lind plays Melanie. Oh, also spoilers. Spoilers from ah, drop my phone. Spoilers from now on. Emily Allen Lind plays the neighbor Melanie that was like giving him goo goo eyes and everything, even though she has a new boyfriend. Um, she's our new main villain? Question mark. Because apparently she signed her name in the book too, and we never saw that in the first film. But okay. Excuse me. Um, but she's there. She's not that good. I remember this name because I remembered her being in Enter the Void. I remember that she's in it. I'm still not seen it, but I can't believe her acting is like she's not good in these movies. Like in the last review, I said she was there, but like here, her trying to be threatening is really hard to watch because she's like trying when I don't think the effort's doing much. Andrew Batchelor plays John, again, King Batch. He's there, and still annoying as always. Robbie Amell plays Max, the shirtless dude. I mean, he's fine. He's kind of doing the same jokes again, but yeah, it's whatever. Bella Thorne plays Allison, the cheerleader character again. At least she doesn't talk about her tits the whole time. Now she wants to be a newswoman. She's there. She's not as annoying as in the first. Hannah Mae Lee plays Sonia. She's barely in the film. She's still just there. Ken Marino plays Archie, the dad. I guess he's been given a name now. Um, he's still just there. Like the parent characters, I thought the whole storyline with them was kind of fucked up and not funny at all. And every time I see the parent characters together in this film and the last, I'm just like, okay, are they making fun of the parents like clearly wanting to get divorced, but they just don't for some reason? I don't know. But yeah, Ken Marino, again, comedian, not that funny. And Leslie Bibb plays Phyllis. She's fine. And Samara Weaving is B. A big step down from the first film is that Samara Weaving is not returning as the villain. She is there. She is in this film in teeny tiny bits in these like tiny flashback sequences to show why the characters from the first film, the villains from the first one, made the deal with the devil. And most of them are very dumb. Like the only reason Max wanted into this was because he wanted to kill somebody. So, uh, but Samara Weaving is still decent in the bit she is in this film, even though it's like the last 10 minutes of the film that she finally appears and actually has a real dialogue. Like she has less than like 20 lines in this film. So, uh, yeah. There's not going to be a lot I can say about this though, because kind of like with Smile 2 compared to Smile 1 for me, Babysitter 2 does a lot of the same things that the first film does. Uh, the whole well, the whole reference thing, like characters are still making random references to movies, and there's a lot of clapping seals online that apparently really like movies from that are. This movie isn't set in the 80s. That's the thing. This movie isn't set in the 80s yet. It's supposed to be like a whole. Well, they never mention if it's set in the. That's the issue. This film doesn't really have an identity in terms of or like a setting. I don't think at any point they mention what year it's supposed to be. But like their main character has a flip phone. That's about it. But that's the only thing we know. But yeah, it does a lot of the same shit where they reference some pop culture thing the and it's just really hard to take a film seriously when it relies so hard on pop culture references to be relevant. Again, the whole like wasting actors, you have Samara Weaving here and she barely does anything. This might have been around the time she was in something else and she didn't have as much time on set. My guess is that the money they gave Jenna Ortega was so much that they couldn't hire her for longer, which is weird, but I don't know. Uh, oh yeah, the dialogue. The like other than the references, pretty much every character, every bit of comedy is a character either being obnoxious, snarky, or genuinely just retarded. Like the characters will just say something like, "Oh, of course you'd think that. Oh, of course. Oh, that's so you." Like shit like this, and it's just like get actual fucking teenagers to show you how teenagers talk because not every teenager is fucking snarky. I went to high school, McG. I know how teenagers talk. Oh, and Judah Lewis. Like this whole thing of Judah Lewis. This film was shot 3 years after the first one. I think. Judah Lewis does not look 14. In the last film, I could be like, okay, maybe he's 12, 13, sure. In this film, he does not look 14. He's supposed to be 14 and he looks like a senior. So, bit weird. I know they can't exactly just switch out the cast, but I don't know how old Judah Lewis was during filming. I'd guess he was 18 because he looks that. So I was a little bit iffy for a little bit. I was like, he's still like got the whole thing with needles, which I'm like, okay, I don't know why he still has the thing with the needles. I thought the whole point of the first film was that he was growing up and learning to be more of a man, but he's basically back to step one for most of this movie. And this whole thing at the very beginning of the film, you have him pouring milk in the living room and then the milk turns red like blood and starts overflowing, and I'm like, are they doing this whole like smile thing where you can't tell what's real and what's fake? But no, after that scene, we never see that again, even though he's taking medication for so-called delusions. Oh, yeah, okay. So one thing that really kills this movie is the suspension of disbelief. It's doing the same shit that Smile 1 and Smile 2 do, where nobody believes the main character, even though there is sufficient evidence to show that something is off. Like the fact that in the first film, oh, I don't know, the villains killed somebody in the house. There's dead bodies in the house. King Batch's body is on the ground with an award through his neck. Robbie Amell is hung in the backyard. Hannah May Lee is burnt to a fucking crisp under the house. Samara Weaving, well, I mean, Samara Weaving disappeared, but Samara Weaving was pinned under the car in the house, and Bella Thorne, her head is fucking missing in the kitchen. Yet somehow, some fucking how, nobody believes the main character. That's what killed it for me. That's what killed this film having any potential for me, was that they expected the audience to be this fucking stupid that they're trying that they don't even try to write it off like, oh, the demons like got rid of the bodies or some shit to make the kid look crazy. They don't even do that. They don't even give us a bullshit explanation. They just want you to basically do a reset where even his neighbor, which it makes sense the neighbor girl is like denying that it even happened because she's the new villain. But it really pisses me off when a film really just does not expect the audience to think about anything, like any part of the story of the first film. Excuse me. And yeah, that did genuinely piss me off. I'm like, there's ways to show what is happening or what happened that night actually happened. Like, you have the bit of evidence of B like keying the kid's bike tire so he'd think, oh, maybe she's a crazy bitch, maybe let's investigate her. uh I don't know, there's alcohol in the plant. You could maybe get B's fingerprints or somebody else's fingerprints off of something that's in the house, but just the cops. The first and second movie have a very clear anti-cop thing, which wouldn't be that big, but they copy it in this film, where there's a cop that's like straight up flirting with Cole's mom because the mom and dad are clearly wanting to get a divorce, but that's the running joke is that they want to get divorced and it's supposed to be funny, and it's like I don't find this funny. And the cop like flirting with her and shit, it's just creepy. I don't like when directors push their fucking agendas and shit like that. But yeah, like that whole thing, that whole section of the film with that whole like not even explaining why characters are acting like any of this happened just really pissed me off. Um, but yeah, other than that, again, the oh yeah, the something in this film at least I think gets a little better than the first is the whole romance thing, because our main character kind of falls for Jenna Ortega's character, and instead of showing a sex scene, they like show the characters like dancing in like a disco thing. I I kind of enjoyed that. I thought it was nice that they're like being metaphorical with it rather than showing it, because Netflix shows and movies love to just straight up show teen sex, Elite, 13 Reasons Why, Ginny and Georgia, like all these shows like really glamorize teen sex, and it's like really creepy to me. I at least like that they did something interesting with it. Thank you, McG. You improved on something from the first. But again, pretty much everything else is downhill. Again, the gore is still really good. There's some pretty fun kills. There's a bit where they're pulling on Bella Thorne's body so hard that like her head gets separated and then a boulder falls on her body. There's um this like throat slice with like a hook that's pretty gnarly. Hannah May Lee's death, where the surfboard decapitates her, is pretty fun. There's a nice fire stunt with the guy that tries to like abduct Jenna Ortega's character. Um, so that was really cool to see a genuine fire stunt and not it being cheated with CGI. But yeah, the main things I can really say were still good in this film. Again, Samara Weaving, even though she's barely in it, is good. Judah Lewis is good. Jenna Ortega is fine. The gore and the story could have been fun, but again, the really bad attempts at comedy kind of kill any potential it had. But yeah, that was my review of The Babysitter Killer Queen. If you've seen the film, let me know your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. Like, subscribe, whatever, and movie reviewer next door out.